Hey guys, welcome back here to Intuitive Angling, and really appreciate you guys swinging by the channel and checking it out. And guys, today I'm going to show you the biggest advancement in fishing line technology that I've seen like in probably 30 years of bass fishing. There's a new product that came out, a new fishing line. I've been using it about 4 months now. Unbelievable, guys, the difference in the feel and the sensitivity and the strength and all that. So I want to go over it in today's video and give you guys not only a little bit of a introduction to this new line here, but talk a little bit about fluorocarbon line in general, the properties of it. I think there's a lot of misunderstanding that goes around fluorocarbon. So we're gonna have a good little line conversation in today's video here. And also guys, thank you very much for everybody that's taken time to hit that subscribe button here at Intuitive Angling. Big thank you for that. If you signed up to be a channel member, a Patreon member in preparation for our live stream that's gonna be starting here soon, I'd like to invite everybody to do that. I am starting a live stream for channel members and Patreon members. So if you're interested, just hit that join button or go into the description of the video and sign up for the Patreon program. So really appreciate that, guys. Okay, guys, I'm going to show you what this new product is here. Talk a little bit about it, and then we're going to get into a discussion on fluorocarbon lines in general. Guys, this is the new Seagar Carbon Ultra right here. I don't know if you've ever seen it before. But guys, this line right here, I've been using Seagar for over 25 years, and this is the biggest jump that I've ever seen in line performance out of any line that I've ever used before. And the thing that's cool about this, it's a two-structured line. You've got on this particular type of fluorocarbon, on the Carbon Ultra, it's got a hard outer shell on the thing, a soft outer shell on it, and it's got a harder inner core on it. And what this does is with that softer outer core, it allows you to really cinch that knot down tight, and you get a lot better knot strength, and also the softness of the outer core allows for better castability. And that's the first thing that I noticed when I first started using it 3 or 4 months ago, was how smooth it came off the reel. And one of the things that I always, got a little allergies here, guys. One of the things that I always was concerned about is if you had a line that was really supple and soft and had good knot strength on it, that you're going to sacrifice, maybe some abrasion resistance or hook setting ability. It's not, guys. This is the most abrasion resistant line I have ever fished of any fluorocarbon line. And also, guys, they sell this exclusively through Tackle Warehouse. So I'll put the Carbon Ultra link and my Tackle Warehouse link in the description of the video if you guys would like to try a spool of it. But anyway, this two structured core there, what it does, it makes for, better knot strength. It makes for better castability. And then that harder inner core increases your sensitivity. So you're able to detect the strikes a lot easier. You don't have the stretch on that. So when you set the hook, you got a good solid hook set, and the strike detection is second to none. So you've got a combination of about 4 different factors that all add up. And usually in the past with fluorocarbon line, you had sort of like, a lot of times you sacrifice softness for abrasion resistance, or if you had abrasion resistance on the line, it was a little bit stiffer and harder to cast. But the Carbon Ultra, guys, and that's what's so cool, it's the first line that I've used that doesn't have any weaknesses whatsoever as far as your knot strength, your castability, the abrasion resistance, the sensitivity. It's all in one. So man, just try a spool of it here. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about line in general. Let me sort of go over this thing about fluorocarbon. Just sort of have a broad range and talk on a little bit. Fluorocarbon line is one of the greatest inventions that we've had, or innovations in fishing products, since I've been fishing. It's like I used monofilament for years, and monofilament is serviceable. I'm not saying you can't get away with it. I mean, it's a decent line, but inherently monofilament is a lot more stretchy, and the diameter is a lot thicker on the thing. So there's some drawbacks with that. And when I first started using Seagar back in the 90s, there was an unbelievable difference, because not only was the line a lot smaller diameter, but it was a lot more sensitive and you had less stretch. So that enables you to fish lures and techniques with heavier line with fluorocarbon than we could ever fish, with monofilament line. Because say, for example, if you use, if you had like 12-pound test, or maybe even probably 15. If you got 15-pound test fluorocarbon line, like I used the Invisex a lot before I started using the Carbon Ultra. So okay, let's say you got 15-pound test fluorocarbon line. The diameter of 15-pound test fluorocarbon is about the same as probably, I'm gonna guess, 8-pound test monofilament. So 8-pound test monofilament is just as thick as 15-pound test fluorocarbon. So you can see right off the bat the advantages of fluorocarbon about you can have a smaller line diameter and you can have a stronger line with smaller diameter. So what this did is made the line less visible. You could go to heavier line and fish wouldn't see it. Not only you could have heavier line, but you could have smaller diameter line so you could get your bait down deeper with heavier line. In the past, you know, if you were using a jerk bait on 8-pound test monofilament or something like that, that would be like using a jerk bait on 15-pound test fluorocarbon. So a lot of advantages with fluorocarbon along with everything else. Now, one of the things there's two other things I want to talk about here is when you're using fluorocarbon line, you really have to sort of restructure your hook set a little bit. Since fluorocarbon line does not have as much stretch to it, it's got more stretch than braid. Braid doesn't have any stretch, but it's got significantly less stretch than monofilament. So you do not have to set the hook as hard with fluorocarbon line as you do monofilament. A lot of the old timers or guys that started prior to fluorocarbon, they were the ones that had the jack and hook sets, the slack set, super hard hook sets. You don't have to have that anymore with the lack of stretch, the fluorocarbon line. That's one thing. And the second thing with that, and I want to encourage this again because we talk about this a lot on the channel, guys, do not get sucked into using the braid to fluorocarbon setup. There has been a trend over the past 15 years where people use braid to fluorocarbon on a lot of stuff, spinning rods, bait casters, all of that. Guys, that is not a good way to go. There is, number one, you got 2 weak knots, you got 2 weak links, you got 2 knots you have to tie. You always have a decreasing leader length, which makes your main line more visible. And by using braid to fluorocarbon, it discourages retying. Because I've seen it before, a lot of times the co-anglers I fish with, they'll start out with an 8 or 9 foot leader on their braid to fluorocarbon, and by the end of the day, it's down to 2 or 3 feet because they don't want to retie 2 knots. And then you can see your main line 2 or 3 feet above your leader line, which takes strikes away. So the advantage of using straight fluorocarbon line is it encourages you to retie more. You only got 1 weak link, you got 1 knot is all, and the consistency is there in terms of the ability to manipulate a lure, work a lure, and fight a fish. Because when you're using a braid to fluorocarbon setup, you've got 2 different type of elements involved. You got the no stretch with the braid, yet you've got the stretch with your fluorocarbon leader, and you can't do both. It's like you can't pressure a fish with one or the other the same. It's almost like you have to, it's a real hard balancing act. And I have seen so many people break off braid to fluorocarbon leaders. It just ain't worth it. So biggest advice I would give you guys, learn how to properly spool fluorocarbon line on your reels and go to straight fluorocarbon. You're gonna have a lot better success. You're gonna land more fish, you're gonna get more bites. Braid to fluorocarbon is not gonna get you any more bites. I want you to understand this. Do you know how many extra bites that you're gonna get using braid to fluorocarbon? 0. It's not gonna do anything to help you get more bites. And I'm always of the way of thinking, it's like you can't get a fish in the boat unless you get the bite. So try to do things that increases your odds to get bit, and straight fluorocarbon will do that. So anyway, guys, just a sort of wide-ranging talk here on fluorocarbon line. Excuse me. I'll put the Seagar Carbon Ultra link in my Tackle Warehouse link in the description of the video, guys. If you want to try spool, like I said, it's only available through Tackle Warehouse. And guys, just try it out, because when I first got this sample, I'm always skeptical about any new product. But man, the first time I used this, it's like, God dang, this is so soft and so supple and so strong and so sensitive. It's just the best line that I've ever used. So give it a try, guys. Seagar Carbon Ultra, you guys will love it. We'll talk later.